All right, Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory and fear to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who lead our nation, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect that's striving for salvation during these trying and electrifying times. I want to do a quick video. I'm probably name this video something along the lines of um, the Most High has stripped the feasting and the mirth and replaced it with mourning, because this everybody's in a mourning state. They uh they can't stand what's going on. People want their lives back. They want to be able to go and come and do all the fun shit they used to do. They want to be able to go to happy hour. They want to go out clubbing. They want to go out to bars. They want to, everything that they had fun and all the mirth that they was taking advantage of before all this uh took place and the prophecies hit people smack dead in the face. They miss that. They want that. They want to go back to that. Well, you're not gonna go back to that. Like I'd be like so surprised if that happens. And if it does, if it's some weird reason or way that the Most High return things back to where people go back to work and the quarantine ends and things like that. That's just the Most High's will, and it's gonna happen again because there's other plagues that's gonna come. There's other prophecies that's gonna continuously happen, but I don't see it. I see it going full fledged straight ahead. With more and more plagues and things getting worse and worse. People over here talking about on social media talking about how they can't wait to do things that they had planned to do, trips and stuff they had planned to do in the summer and things like that. That's not gonna happen, man. I don't see that happening. And if you look, they just continuously pushing the date and extending the quarantine time more and more because this place is going down. That's just it. This is done. This place is done. You barbecuing. You stick that thermometer into the meat to see the temperature of the meat, so you'll know if it's done in the inside of it. Well, looking on the outside, it's cooked on the outside. America's cooked. Esau, your kingdom is cooked. And the Most High is sticking that spiritual thermometer inside the meat, which is inside your kingdom, to see that it's cooked in the inside and it's done. It's done well. It's well done. So it's gonna be time for the Most High to send Yahushua so he can eat, and that's what's gonna happen. This is Baruch 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 30. It says, "Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons." The she that's talking about is talking about America. It's talking about the harlot that sat on the beast. America's that harlot. Babylon the Great. That's America. And the people here, you're in a miserable state. Your life has been turned upside down and inside out, and you're not used to this, but you better get used to it because it's going to continue to come forth, and it's not gonna it's not you're not gonna look up and like, oh yeah, like it was some nightmare. No, it's a nightmare that's come true, that's coming true right before your eyes. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. And your desolation is coming, man. It's like, we're a few spiritual footsteps away from your desolation in our kingdom. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitudes, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. And that's what's going on. One day, everybody had the luxury to do whatever they wanted to do. They can come and go as they please. They can go out feasting. They had so much mirth that they can take advantage of. Mirth all over the place. But now it's all mourning because your abilities to do the thing, and it's not even really being forced on you. It's being there's been laws that have been put in place, or they have requested certain states to shut down in certain cities and certain areas, but majority of people are doing it themselves because they don't want to catch the virus, the coronavirus. So people are staying home. People aren't doing things. Then you have some people that are still going out and doing, gatherings and stuff like that, social gatherings and things like that, like going to people's houses and partying and stuff like that, and not listening to when the government says that limit your social gatherings and things of that nature. But for the most part, cities are on lock. People aren't out and about. Bars are closed. Certain amount of restaurants are open. Most restaurants are closed. But small mom and pop shops and businesses closed down. Verse 35: For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. So when this place get destroyed, it's only going to be inhabited by devils. It's going to be inhabited by vultures and ravens and different animals. Those are the devils. You read about that in I believe it's Isaiah the 34th chapter. It goes into that. How this place is just gonna be, it's gonna be have scorpions and desert creatures that's gonna inhabit this land called America. O Jerusalem, look about thee towards the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come, who thou sentest away. They come gathering together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One. Rejoice in the glory of the Most High. And that's what's taking place. The word has been going out from the east all the way to the west, from one part of the earth all the way to the other part of the earth, by the gathering, by what? By the word, by this truth. This is Revelations 18:5. It says, verse 5 says, for her sins have reached unto heaven. And her, once again, is talking about America. She's the harlot. It says, and the Most High had remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double. That cup is talking about slavery, because we serve slavery and under her her rule. We've been enslaved, and to this day we're still serving slavery. And our people have suffered in this slavery, from age to age. We've been suffering it, still under the suffering, still under captivity. The scriptures tell you we are yet this day in our captivity. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's see where. If I can find it. Matter of fact, let me just put it in the search real quick. Let me see. Bear with me. I'm trying to see if I can remember where it's at. You know what? Let me go to my trusty. There it is. So it's Barak, 3rd chapter, 8th verse. It says, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, wherein thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. So we yet this day we are in our captivity, and we're yet subject to payments. So back in Revelations 18 in verse 6, it says, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double." So that cup of slavery is gonna be filled unto you, double the portion that we had to serve. It says how much she had glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrows give her. So you're gonna get paid back the amount of living deliciously you had in this kingdom is the double amount of misery you're gonna have in your captivity. Speaking of Esau, Edom, and you other nations who have been you've been joint heirs unto Esau with the receiving of uh of what he had in his kingdom. You made atonement with him, the other nations. So you've been joint heirs to what? To putting forth misery and living deliciously. You've been living deliciously, and you've been putting forth, helping put forth misery on the Israelites. So you're gonna receive that double as well. You're not gonna get a discounted slavery. You're gonna get a full fledged slavery, just like the so-called white man. Speaking to you other nations, it says, "For she had in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow." Is that being said right now? Can people say that right now? Can you say that you're not receiving sorrow? Are you not sorry every day sitting in your house? Are you not sorry when you go out and have to go get groceries or get necessity things? Is what they allow us to be able to go out and do? Are you not in sorrow, thinking that you might get contract the coronavirus? And this is just one plague, man. This one plague that halted the whole earth. Everything is on halt right now. So therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. And that's what's taking place in the world. People are dying from that coronavirus, right? People are in a mourning state. They mourn for the death. They mourn for the dead. They mourn for their family members. They mourn for their children because they can't do the things that they want to do for their kids or themselves, period. And people are starving. People don't have food. And it's going to get even worse. These things are going to multiply. You're going to see more death. People are going to mourn more and more. And the famine is going to increase. "And she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judged her." You're going to be judged with thermonuclear fire. The ICBM missiles that every country out there is developing. "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication," you other nations who have been in bed with the so-called white man in America, you've committed fornication and you've gotten people to worship under the influence of the so-called white man, and then you're gonna have people join unto them, was they gonna go into the so-called elite beast system to implement the microchip and live deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her. So a lot of these countries, when America goes down, you're gonna be in a mourning lament state because you do all of your import and export into America, and that's how you sell your goods and products by way of imports and exports through the ships. You ain't gonna be able to do that no more. Because when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, "Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that great city America, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgments come." So that's how it's going to take place. In 1 whole hour, this place will be destroyed, and they will be judged severely. That people are going to see on their satellites. They're going to see it. They're going to see the smoke that's going to rise to the heavens. And they're going to know that this place was destroyed. And they're going to mourn for it. And they're going to be amazed by it, saying, alas, somebody has taken America down. And it's going to be televised. It's going to be 200 million missiles shot on this place. So it ain't going to be souls that's going to miss that. They're going to see that. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. And that'll be it. And guess what happens after that? Yahushua is on the scene, and his army filled with holy angels, and his elect men are gonna go across the four corners of the earth, taking you out of power, taking you down, putting you in subjection, and ushering in the kingdom of heaven to the nation of Israel, Yahushua's kingdom. So the last scripture, that's what I just described, is the transformation of power. This is Psalm 75:7. It says, but the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. And that's exactly what takes place. Once America goes down, that's the account of a second Ezra 6 and 7, when it talks about Esau. Esau is the end of this world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. That power being taken, that rulership being brought down, that kingdom being put down, and that one kingdom that's being put down, and the other kingdom being set up. That kingdom of heaven for Israel, that's the one that's being set up after it, and that's the one that's going to rule forever. Verse 8, it says, for in the land of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is filled of mixture, and he poured out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. That's talking about slavery, right? So the mixture is slavery. Let's go like this. The cup with the wine, the red represents the slavery, and the mixture of it is the different type of hell you gonna catch, right? The mixture of it, meaning the potency of it, the severity of it. And it says that he poured out the same, but the dregs thereof. So I mean, he poured out the same, meaning the other nations, all nations, 18 nations exist in existence on the earth. And one nation is the nation of Israel, is his chosen people. All the other 17 are the other nations, the heathens. So all of you, when it says, and he poured out the same, meaning all the other nations, those other 17 other nations, you're going to be poured out all the same of that slavery. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth, shall wring them out and drink them. So the most bitter, the most concentrated part of a drink is the dregs, the bottom of it. So let's take it like you're speaking about a glass of beer, right? A 16-ounce glass of beer, and you drink it. And when you get down to the most the suds, the dregs, the bottom part of it, people don't drink. The most bitterest part, people they drink it down to when they get to that part, they slam the glass on the counter, and they're done drinking. They don't want to drink all the rest of that because it's the most potent, harsh dregs of the beer. The fullness of the concentration of that beer, those hops or whatever the beer was made of. They don't want to drink that. They leave that on the counter so it can be washed out. But you ain't gonna get to wash that out, Esau. You're gonna down those dregs. I mean, you're gonna have to tip that cup all the way over and drink all of it, every drop of it, the most bitterest parts of it. You're gonna wring them out and drink it. Meaning that part's gonna be, from the beginning of slavery, the first year, to the 1,000th year of your slavery. Because you're going to serve 1,000 years. You're going to serve double of what we serve. So that 1,000th year, you're not going to know what year it is. It's not like you're going to be able to say, oh, we got one more year of this. It's 900th year. It's 950 years. We got 50 more years of this slavery. No, you're not going to know because we didn't know. When our people were in slavery, there wasn't no calculation on that. There was no determination of how long we were going to serve slavery. Every day woke up, every day went to sleep, not knowing when it was going to end. And we're still in it now. You're actually on borrowed time with this slavery to us, but it's coming to a close. So when you enter your slavery, day one and day none is going to feel like the same one. It's going to feel like the same day of slavery to you. You're not going to know you're done. And guess what? When day one, when we talking about the wicked, right? The last day of your slavery is the day you get rounded up for you to be exterminated. Just like you want to exterminate the Israelites, like you said in the report that was reported by David Goldberg in the Cipher report, how you've been keeping tabs on people on the internet and seeing you got gatekeepers, and you've been keeping track on who's paying attention, who's watching, who's seeing, who basically got a magnifying glass on your wicked ass and exposing what you're doing. You want to exterminate them, right? Well, you're going to be exterminated. Eye for an eye. So you can go for trying to exterminate the Israelites. You can come after the Most High's men to no avail. You're going to fail. That's just it. But when your extermination come, ain't no standard going to be lifted up for you on your behalf. Like the Most High is going to lift a standard up against you when you come after his men, when you come after the servants, those who worship him in spirit and in truth. You're going to have no way out. Rounded up and lit up like a match to a torch. And you're going to burn all of you, all of the wicked. So I'm going to read these last two verses, and I'll bring this lesson to a close. Verse 9. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the Most High of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off. That cutting off is you being rounded up and you being put to death by way of fire, being burnt up, spoken of in Obadiah. It says, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. How will they be exalted? Because Israel will be on top. We'll be the rulers of our own kingdom in righteousness. So with that, bring this lesson to a close, and I hope it was edifying for whomever was able to tune in. And I want to say all praise, honor, and glory and fear to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who lead our nation, and peace and salutations to the whole elect striving for salvation during these electrifying and trying times. Shalom.